What's up guys, it's Shrek, and this is the N-Strike Elite Surge Fire. Now the Surge Fire is a 15-shot rotating drum-style pump-action blaster. Not too much to say about it. It is not particularly expensive, which is cool. It is not clip-fed, which is good, because if it was clip-fed, it would just be an EAT, and we have EATs right now on the shelf at Kohl's, so climbing ranges of up to 90 feet. You can see how they break that down here. That is just an interpretation and a marketing gimmick based on what we have come to refer to as standard elite ranges. So it has slam fire, which is almost necessary for a blaster like this, and it says slam the competition. Get it? Slam fire competition. Haha, so clever. With a surge of 15 darts. So constantly reloadable with that drum mechanism and pump action. Now, it's kind of got an AFG, but realistically, this is more of like a, I'm trying to think. I've definitely shot a Spaz that has a foregrip like this, so I want to say it's like a Spaz foregrip, but I know that as soon as I say that, some keyboard warrior is going to inform me that that is not correct. That's just what it is though. So anyway, this one came to me all the way down from a friend up in Canada so that I could review it early, and at this point they are on shelves for 25 United States dollars all over the place. You can find them at Target, you can find them online, and there's no sense in importing one from Canada. I had an emergency trip down to Florida that prevented me from making this video early for you guys. So here we are. We have the darts, the drum, and the instructions. We can go ahead and pitch the instructions. The drum is removable, guys. I'm trying to think how exactly that's going to work, though. I think that it's just inherently removable. You can see that this pushes forward to lock into here, and this doesn't really go back, which means that I think you're just going to slam this home, and it's locked in. And to get it out, ruh-roh, to get it out, I guess you would take something like a screwdriver or realistically a screwdriver, and you would push through this hole here to drop the entire drum out. So it was shipped this way for packaging purposes. Unfortunately, that means that it's not like you have that rapid reload option, I suppose. So like normally with stuff like this, you could swap the drum, and that's what makes the Turbo Advance so nice, is that not only is the drum staggered, but it's also very quick and easy to reload that drum entirely if you decide not to top it off on the fly. And frequently that's how I run my Turbo Advance. Now, these cost roughly the same, which is ridiculous. This is a 25 United States blaster, or United States dollar MSRP, and it has, wow, gosh, less than half the capacity of the Turbo Advance at the same price. So it's got to be much nicer in other ways to justify purchasing the on-brand, quote-unquote, or the Nerf equivalent in the Surge Fire. Now, the blaster is very simple in its paint scheme. It is blue and orange and blue and orange, so it looks very elite, and that's on the blaster. It's got that tiger stripe camo that we got on the Hyperfire originally. Some people really like that. I personally don't. Comment down below in the comments if you like the tiger stripe camo. It's just not my thing. It's really obnoxious. It's hard to sand off, and honestly the difference in texture is a little funky. I didn't mind it that much on the Hyperfire because it wasn't like, it was easy to break up the shell, and the Hyperfire had a lot more detail going on with it. The Surge Fire does not really. So we've got the drum. It is pump action, and it's getting solid performance. There's nothing wrong with this blaster. Like, that is what I expected from the Surge Fire. Let's go ahead and grab some Do-Re-Mi darts, which is to just say some random darts from my bin. We've got some AccuFakes. We've got some Super Worn Elites. Let's see how it, oh, it's not gonna fire that at all, I don't think. So Springer's dart fit is really important, obviously, and this dart has seen better days. I think that it is done. It spent too long in a pocket somewhere along the line, but blaster is comfortable, certainly. Like, the ergonomics of it are nice. I wish that it was a little bit longer. I want to say that the Elite Alpha Trooper has more space, but for smaller nerfers, like I am definitely not the average nerf size, for smaller nerfers, this would be a great size. The fact that it doesn't need batteries is nice. Like, these days it seems like virtually every competitive nerf blaster that we get comes out and requires batteries. Now, I've heard people complain about the Prime. There's nothing wrong with this Prime at all. Like, That's smooth back, smooth forward, no muss, no fuss, no problems. As far as the slam fire goes, pretty solid, easy. Of course, you can't slam fire too hard, because if you slam fire too hard, it only has 15 shots of capacity, so you'll be out in no time. However, the blaster is decent. I can't in good faith recommend this over a Turbo Advance, knowing that the Turbo Advance is as nice as it is and has so much more capacity going for it. So I will put a link to this in the description box below, as well as the Turbo Advance, but a versus video isn't even necessarily required. Like, this is an inferior blaster, even if its build quality is superior. There are a lot of things that I'd like about this blaster, and I'll probably use it in a war at some point just to pilot it. I objectively enjoy piloting the weird blasters when they come out, but this one's right up my alley. It's a pump action Springer, it's compact, it's just, there are a lot of design choices that don't make sense to me. So it's an N-Strike Elite blaster that has no N-Strike attachment and no stock attachment point. Both of those things would benefit a blaster like this, and I can't help but wonder if Hasbro's ported those over entirely to Modulus and is taking them away from N-Strike. To me, that's really weird. It's like telling an older brother that he can't have the car anymore and kicking him out of the house and giving him none of the privileges. Like, it's weird, because the N-Strike line is what made those things so ubiquitous and so popular, and now that Nerf has decided to rebrand them into Modulus, it seems like nobody else gets a seat at the table, which is just unfortunate, because this blaster would have benefited greatly from those. Instead of a stock attachment point, you get a very poor priming indicator. It doesn't actually reach here. You have to look down inside to see that it has been primed, but I mean, it's something. It's something, I guess. Bandolier attachment point here, here, and here, so you could sling this thing however you wanted. It would be a great secondary, or I guess the technical term would be a tertiary to a loadout. If you wanted to play like Destiny or Call of Duty style, this could be your third blaster, your second primary. You would run a primary blaster, you'd sling this, and then you'd have your sidearm strapped to you somewhere. But it's not a bad blaster. It's not a pretty blaster, for sure. Like, the ranges and the performance are exactly what we expected. It's getting about standard elite performance. If anything, it might even be sub-elite performance. Unfortunately, like, I'm not super duper sold on that. Let's fire a few more. No, I mean, that's about right. Those are 40 to 45 foot shots, flat and then angled. 60? Okay, there we go. That's a 65 foot shot. I mean, the only way that Hasbro ever got a 90 foot shot with this blaster in its current form out of the box is with a 20-mile-an-hour tailwind, but that's between them and the marketing gods. I'm not gonna call them out on anything that I don't have the desire to actually scientifically prove. We've been battling that battle for a long time, but that's the Surgefire. Is it worth 25 United States dollars? A year ago, 2 years ago, it probably would have been, just because it's a great alternative to the Flywheel Menace. But these days, I mean, there's so many great knockoff blasters. I don't know why you would ever choose this over a Turbo Advance. Like, it comes with exactly 15 darts, as opposed to the Turbo Advance's massive. I want to say the Turbo Advance comes with like 100 darts, maybe 80 something darts. It comes with enough to fill it twice and then some. I know that much. And then you have to buy a refill pack for this. So it's just like, give me some value, Hasbro. I want to love the Springers. They're obviously my favorite. I've got great history with the Elite Alpha Trooper, but if you give me a worse Elite Alpha Trooper that has one thing that it does well, I would like it if the drum was removable, so that I didn't have to choose between topping it off and rapid reload. And honestly, like, I would really like it if it had the things that make Nerf blasters great, like that cross compatibility between stocks and barrel attachments. At least it has a tack rail, but it only has the one. So this one is hard for me to recommend. Every piece of me wants to recommend the Pump Action Springer, the new hotness for 2018. But while I'm definitely going to use it and I'm going to try really hard to have fun with it, I can't help but wonder if halfway through the round I'm not going to drop it off in the staging area and just grab my trusty Turbo Advance. Anyway, that's just my 10 cents. My 2 cents is free. Much love, Nerf on, Drac out.